name is Carmela Zutz. I am a mother of 4, a wife, and I love to cook for my family. And I have many friends who ask me how I do it all so fast. And I'm not an expert by any means, but I wanted to take some time out today to show you how to clean a few vegetables. So we'll always start with clean vegetables. And we're gonna do an avocado here first. We're gonna go right through, all the way around. Twist. Twist. Now there's a couple of ways you can do an avocado depending on what you're doing with it. If you just want to cut it up as for a salad, score right to the skin. And then basically, you're going to turn it inside out into your bowl. All right. The other way I do it, if I'm making guacamole, scoop it up with a spoon. Like so. Then you can cut it up or mash it however you need to. My kids always complain about cutting tomatoes. They're slippery. Again, depending on what you're doing with it, if you're just gonna slice them, that's easy. But today, I'm going to cut them up for a salad. I always take out the You always want to start with a really sharp knife. Flat parts going down, and then you want to try to keep pieces uniform. Like so. Now if I was doing a salad where this is good for salsa or something where I want all the seeds and the juice in there, but if I was doing it and I didn't want all of that stuff in there, I cut them up a little differently. And I carve out the seedy middle. Like so. I do the same with peppers. And then they're ready to chop without all the seeds inside. Once again, flat part down all the time, and depending on how small you want them, start slicing. I use my fingers as a guide so that I can't chop off the tips. I always try to keep my pieces as uniform as they can be. This is the one vegetable that I washed all of those ones before we started, but I didn't wash the onion. I'll tell you why. I'm gonna take off the stuff that I don't want first. And then I'm gonna rinse it under cold water, really cold water. This is gonna prevent the crying that happens when we cut onions. cold water. As cold as you can. And then, again, depending on what you're cutting them for, you always want the flat part down so you can hold it. Holding it this way. I always, or across. Depending on what you're doing with it, this is an onion for a salad. So I would keep, in my family, I have to keep pieces big enough for those who don't want the onions to push them to the side. So we're just gonna cut this way. Like so. Once it starts to get tough, I put it on its side and then angle the cuts this way. Back on the side. Always make sure there's something you can hold on to there. And those are onions. Mainly, cabbage gets shredded for soups and coleslaws and stuff like that. So I have one here that was, we're gonna make a salad out of this after. This was, earlier this week I made soup. You want to clean your knife out so you don't contaminate the food. Because I might not be cooking and using it right away. I might be storing it. I'm going to be careful not to contaminate it with onions or anything else. I'm just going to throw out this top part just because this onion or this cabbage was previously cut maybe 4 or 5 days ago to make soup. So wherever I made my cuts, I'm gonna just remove part of it. That's garbage. Okay. I will remove the outer layer too if it's feeling wilted. Here again. Shredded cabbage for soup or coleslaw. Just fine, thin slices. You can see how important a good knife is. And cutting boards, of course. And there you have it. Nicely shredded cabbage. That's all I got for today.